Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. One-man show at 147. That's Jaron Boots Ennis. He is a one-man show. It's up to him to keep that division alive. And it's up to Eddie Hearn to do his part as a promoter and pay these fighters whatever is necessary to make sure Jaron Boots Ennis can go out here and do the business at 147 and basically pick up where I would say Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and Keith Thurman left off. Because let me tell you something. There is no one at 147 outside of the ambitious and talented Jaron Boots Ennis that's really, really has a buzz around him. Stanley Unis, Barrios, and Norman Jr. I like Barrios. But, I mean, we just got to be real. There's no name at 147 that Jaron Boots Ennis can beat that will elevate him. Now, it's kind of unfair because fans seem to forget that, Thurman, Porter, and Danny Garcia, they had each other. All elite, all out here destroying people, and all having opportunities to mix it up. Okay? Then Errol Spence worked his way into the mix. So now you got Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. At that time, Keith Thurman kind of started fizzling out a bit. He got married. Then Terrence Crawford's in the mix. So now you got Crawford, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Spence, and then you still got Thurman's name that's in the mix. So you got these five names just being tossed around, keeping the 147-pound division bubbling and on our radars. Then the shit went flat. All five of them gone. Doing something different or retired. And Jaron Boots Ennis just now getting his head above water. Hey, look at me, guys. I'm here. And ain't nobody want to mess with that man. He's a one-man show at 147, but he doesn't really have the opposition of the guys with the names that can elevate him. No matter who Jaron Boots Ennis beats at 147, he won't get any credit. I'll tell you right now, he won't get any credit. No matter who he beats. It doesn't matter. So he's hunting for a signature win at 32 wins, 29 KOs. I don't know if Chikazian is the answer. But the bottom line is, man, Ennis has the record and the KO rate of a top pound-for-pound fighter. Chikazian will be another win on the record, if he gets through, which I think he will, but and nothing he could do. Brian Norman Jr., that fell out. You got to fight is mandatory. But I just think when it comes to him being ranked as one of the world's top 10 fighters, I think there's some people who would rather omit him from those rankings just because he hasn't fought a huge name. And I think that's a bit disrespectful because it's not his fault. At this point in time, I think going forward, we got to start looking at Eddie Hearn a little bit. But I think everyone knows that Jaron Boots Ennis passes the eye test. He's a top-notch talent. I mean, there's anybody who argues that is just a jackass. But I think we all agree at the same time that he just hasn't fought the necessary competition needed to get him to the next level in his career. And it's so unfortunate that you couldn't get a Crawford, Spence, Porter, Thurman, whatever. He want to come back, he don't want to come back. Who knows what he's doing? But you got to fight Chikazian again. And again, he won't get the elevation he deserves. Anyway, we'll see what happens after this fight. But when you look at it, there really is no one there. If he wasn't really to get his name bubbling, he'd have to fight Pacquiao. People would be going crazy over that. Oh, Pacquiao and Boots. Or if Mayweather came out of retirement, Mayweather Boots. You understand? He got to pull guys who've retired or are really inactive to really get his name popping. Keith Thurman, Porter. Spence ain't fighting him and Crawford's not fighting him. But like if he was to fight those guys, great. But outside of those names, I just threw at you. There is no one. There's no one, man. So sad to see that these unification fights fall apart, man, and talks break down, and I don't know, man. But I tell you what, they're gonna have to figure something out because fans only want to hear you say so many times that it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault. People don't want to hear all the alibis. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully he'll get to finish this weekend and just handle business as expected and go on and get a big fight because I just think it sucks for him to be the one-man show. But in order to really get something popping, these other names aren't well known, but at least Eddie Hearn pay the money and get this man in there with these champions for unifications. I think that'll get him some elevation that he needs. And he's in a position kind of like Terrence Crawford. Even if he becomes undisputed, people are going to say he fought nobody. They're going to do him like Crawford. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Let's see what happens this weekend. See what happens going into next year. I'm rooting for Boots. The journey continues on Saturday, but the reality is he's a one-man show at 147 in the breeze.